What's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Sunday edition of Morning Scone, presented by Brock, Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Hurricane Ida, y'all, she is a coming. Make landfall this afternoon, and then we should start feeling the effects in Baton Rouge. We're already getting some rain in Baton Rouge, but so look out my window. We should start really feeling like the wind effects in the early evening hours, late afternoon, early evening hours. So anyway, here we go. So okay. All right, let's say some good mornings. Of course, LSU and the Saints both left town. LSU evacuated Houston. Obviously, the right thing to do. They have such a good relationship there with the Texans, having played at NRG and playing in the Texas Bowl. And the Texans not only have NRG Stadium, but they have their bubble sort of right next door. If you're familiar with NRG Park in Houston, I'm sure a lot of you are. So they went there. They'll continue preparation for UCLA, and then Thursday they'll go to LA, which was the plan all along, was to leave Thursday for LA to have a day to get acclimated to the time change before playing the game on Saturday evening in Los Angeles. But anyway, yeah, man, I watch UCLA. Honestly, it feels a little awkward. I mean, considering the storms coming and how many people are going to be affected. But I figured we'd sit here and we'd do Morning Scone anyway, because we always do Morning Scone. But I mean, if y'all want to talk about the storm, we can. Or if you want to talk about sports, we can. So I'm down for whatever. Y'all just let me know. Y'all know the drill. Trivia Carter, good morning. Joey Vincent, good morning. Bubba Tatum, good morning. Trivia, how's the back? It's always the worst in the morning, but better. At least I was standing yesterday, and getting a little better each day. So before I feel like normal again, it'll probably take me about 2 weeks, but hopefully by the end of this week, when I need to get on a plane to Los Angeles, hopefully I'm feeling way more normal. Where are we? Lance Richard, good morning, thank you. Saints fan Tyler, I really got into an argument this morning with an idiot on Twitter who thinks Kanye's new music is more important than Hurricane Ida and NOLA residents. Yeah, look, man, the thing that I would say is that's why then you just don't get into arguments on Twitter. And here's the other reality, Tyler. Man, you can't make everyone in the world feel your plight. Like, this sucks for all of us, for everyone in our state and everyone in our region who's going to go through this, and the people who are going to have long recoveries after this. There's no question. It sucks immensely. But you're going to turn on the TV and you could see baseball games or NFL games happening all over the country and just going about their lives, because that's just how, the world doesn't stop at our inconvenience, if that makes sense. And that's true for anyone and everyone in life. So it's okay, man. I would say just ignore that ignorance. Jeb Whitley, good morning. Thomas Lamont, good morning. Hunter Picard, good morning. Hold it down there on the North Shore. All right, man. Thomas Willie, can you believe there's about 40 people riding this out on Grand Isle? I can't. I really feel for the coastal towns, man. They're going to get the brunt of it, as they always do. I mean, but I guess that's part of living there, choosing to live there. Let's see. Jason Aguilar, good morning. Andrew Brister, AJ Holland, Truax, what's up? Kelly Presley, good morning. Hey, Dad. Good morning. Catherine Marie J. Amberg. Good morning. Chris Keller. Good morning from Shreveport. Praying for everyone who stayed for the storm. Yeah, Chris. I mean, we did, and got a generator, and you know, they're saying that this will be comparable to or worse than Gustav. If that's the case in Baton Rouge, that's no bueno, man. I remember Gustav in '08. There were parts of Baton Rouge that looked like a bomb went off. I mean, I know that's a cliche that people say, but if you go into like the heavily wooded areas, like I remember driving through, so I was working at Clear Channel at the time, and so I was doing some storm coverage for WJBO at the time, and we had to go ride out into affected areas and report. And man, that area off College Drive, the it's sort of mid city, over by Webb Park, Clay Cut, that area in there, man, that looked like a bomb went off. I mean, it was just, you couldn't drive 10 feet without another tree in the road, power lines strewn everywhere. Some of the trees looked like they'd gone through a wood chipper, so they probably had a tornado through there. And that was brutal. Craig Duga, morning ball, y'all stay safe. Look like y'all gonna get the brunt of it. Yeah. Better here than Lake Charles, man, after last year, though. I mean, not that you want anybody to bear the brunt of it, but. Hey, John Boudreau, good morning. Charlie Cavell, prayer for everyone's safety, indeed. Jason, this is the worst hurricane to hit Louisiana ever. Is it? I don't know that they've determined that yet. I saw that this was Cat 4. I think Katrina made landfall as a Cat 5. Andrew was a Cat 5, wasn't it? I mean, look, we're splitting hairs. They're all massive storms. Jason Souls, good morning. Clifford Moore, good morning. How's your back? Be safe. It's going to be a bad one now. Back's a little bit better, man. It gets a little bit better each day. So yesterday, at least I could stand. You know, I've been staying on my medicine to make sure that I'm staying ahead of pain. So that's good. But just taking it easy. Thankful to have good family that came over yesterday and helped us, move everything that I couldn't move. So. Sean McKinnon, morning, buddy. Prayers for safety to you and the family. Thank you, Sean. AJ Holland, working for 2.5 hours on this custom shower. Heading back to the house. Everything in Walker is closed as of 8 a.m. with bags on the pumps. Doubt you're able to get any fuel till it passes stay at home. Okay, that's good info. Yeah, I mean, everybody, you should have done your prep by now anyway. I think everything in town is pretty much closed. As it should be, man. I mean, the weather's already starting to come in. Cade Galt, Vince Smith, good morning. Batting down the hatches. Here we go. Jason Aguilar at Hudco Roofing is going to be busy. Yeah, and listen, I will tell you, we've been talking all day yesterday and this morning with our Hudco team, and we're ready. We've got all of our crews here, and the Bossier office. They're so awesome. They're sending 100 workers Tuesday down here, so we're gonna be ready, y'all. I mean, on one hand, I'll tell you this because we're candid here, but on one hand, it's very awkward to know that we're about to do a tremendous book of business, which is great, but it's so awkward because you don't want it how it's going to come about. I was having that conversation with someone yesterday, and they're like, that's true, but you also get to be part of the recovery, which is a great thing. That's true. So I will tell y'all, if you go to the website, if you go to hudcoroofing.com, we added a Hurricane Ida button. And listen, this isn't a pitch for business, y'all. I mean, there's going to be enough business for everyone for a year. I mean, this isn't a pitch. I'm just letting you all know because y'all are my people. If you go to hudcoroofing.com, on the homepage, we've added a Hurricane Ida button right at the very top. You can, if you want, go fill out that form now and then you're chronologically on the list, on our master list, and we'll go in order once the storm passes. And if we'll call it you, and if you don't need an inspection, great, we'll just scratch you off. But if you do, then you're on the list. So hudcoroofing.com, just a heads up to all my people. Charlie Cavell, thoughts on UCLA, and trivia said UCLA doesn't look impressive. I did watch the entirety of that football game, and trivia, you wrong, bro. UCLA looked really good. Now, here's the caveat, okay? All right, here's the caveat. And this is important to note. Hawaii is not a good football team. Hawaii clearly was not interested in tackling, and they could not block UCLA's defensive front. So, I kind of look at that a couple of ways. Number one, how much do you really put in a blowout win against a bad team? And the answer should be not much. It would be more concerning if you struggled with a bad team. Now, that said, good teams are supposed to blow out bad teams, and UCLA did. I will say this about my observations of UCLA. Number one, I thought their defensive front seven was really good. Hawaii could not block UCLA's defensive front seven, and they have everybody back, and they are active and athletic, and they're pretty big. And the reason that stood out to me is because we have talked so much about LSU's offensive line here this fall camp that part of the game has me worried. That was a fast, physical, aggressive defensive line, defensive front seven, and hang on, y'all. I think my father-in-law might have just pulled in the driveway. Anyway, that was a fast, physical, aggressive defensive front seven. And if LSU's offensive line ain't ready, if those running backs ain't ready, they can make LSU one-dimensional. That was one observation. Two, I thought UCLA's offensive line, well, they did. They mauled that Hawaii defensive front. Now, LSU's defensive front seven, we've all said, is the strength of the team. So strength on strength is going to be UCLA's running game against LSU's run defense. Because, and look, this is Chip Kelly. Chip Kelly's teams, the misconception with his offense always was that they were, pass happy, but they weren't. They always ran the ball. Darren Thomas, DeAnthony Thomas. I mean, they were always run heavy. They ran for, in that game, they ran for 244 yards. And keep in mind, they had like 200 by halftime. So, Charbonnet, the Michigan transfer, 6 carries for 106. He was awesome. Where I think Hawaii will have a big problem is that Dorian Thompson-Robinson looked terrible throwing the football. He was 10 of 20 for 130 and a score. And he missed some wide open balls. Well, let me rephrase. He missed some passes a major college quarterback should make. So I think similarly, LSU's defense with Stingley and Ricks can make UCLA one-dimensional. And if LSU's run defense stands up, I think UCLA has a really hard time moving the football. But it was good to see some football, man. They said 30. Hang on one second, y'all. Hang on one second, please. father-in-law is chaining down the trampoline. I was like, I thought I saw his truck pull in the driveway. Sure enough, I look out there. I'm like, dude, what you doing, man? So, oh, man, I'm chaining down his trampoline. Anyway. All right, if you're on YouTube, please smash that like button. Facebook, please like the page, share the post, like the page, share the post. I'll hang here for as long as y'all want this morning. So, hey, babe. Hi, Drew. Your dad's out there chaining down the trampoline. Janet, good morning. Thanks for the distraction. You got it, Janet. Sam Burns doing well. That's good to hear. Robert Bosch, Metri here. Good morning. Get out of there, Robert. Well, it might be too late now, but Dylan PMM04 Tones. Let's talk about the UCLA. Thanks for talking to us this morning. Always, Dylan. I'm here every morning, by the way, for 1,253 consecutive mornings. So y'all keep coming back. I'll keep showing up. Michelle Moore. Hey, Michelle Moore. Good morning. Matthew Vincent. Good morning. Travis Laurent. Wish everyone to stay safe. Cliff Nelson. Good morning. You got it, Saints fan Tyler. Carly Cat, what's up, man? John Melanson, Dwayne Official. Rouse's is open till 11:30. Okay, that's good news. If anybody, I don't know if that's all Rouse's, but that's good news if anybody does need a store. Will Hildebrand, morning, Matt. Katrina plus 16. How about that? I mean, that is, by the way, that's not irony, okay? It is a pet peeve of mine when people misuse the word irony. The fact that Katrina happened on August 29th, and it's August 29th, and Ida's coming. That is not irony. That is an unfortunate coincidence. It is not irony. Jeb Whitley, Matt, when is the front supposed to hit y'all? I believe it's making land. The storm is supposed to make landfall, as I understand it, around like 1 o'clock. But we should feel like the center of the storm this evening and into the night. Let's see, Survive 623. Morning, Matt. Praying for all east of us in Lafayette. Thank you. Ryan Babin, morning. Everyone stay safe. Thomas Lamott. Oh, Dwayne, did you think it was going to get this bad? I mean, Dwayne, you never really know, man. But it certainly looked like about 2 or 3 days ago that it was heading this way, yeah. Let's see. I'm supposed to go to my buddy's bachelor party in Grand Isle in a couple of weeks. Hope there's still Grand Isle after this. You might be relocating that party. Thank you, Michelle. Thomas Willie, I'm in North St. Tammany. We're getting outer bands right now. Cat 3, Katrina. Katrina wasn't a Cat 3. Yeah, Katrina was a Category 5. I'm looking at Category 5 major hurricane. Damon Hinderberger, good morning. Let's see, this is the strongest one to hit Baton Rouge, but we don't know yet until it hits Baton Rouge. It's still a projection. I mean, it could get over land and just die. So we don't know until it comes, so. Jeb, Matt, sorry I might have looped it. Did you hurt your back? Do you have back issues? Jeb, I've had chronic back issues since I was probably 14 years old. And a few times a year, I throw my back out, and it happened this week. And when it happens, it is just debilitating, so much so that I can't stand or move. So I was not on AFR on Friday for that reason. I had to wipe my entire schedule clear, and this is very inopportune with a freaking hurricane coming, and I have this back issue, but it's what it is, man. So, Cliff Nelson, good morning. Smash the like. Thank you, Matthew Vincent. Got hit by Laura and Delta last year. Prayers to you all stay safe. Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt that Southwest Louisiana did not need this. No one needs it, but obviously. Jesse Brown, Matt, sending prayers to you and your family, all of the family back in Louisiana. Stay safe. Trivia, UCLA was all run passing with suspect. Trivia, that was always Chip Kelly's game. That's the thing people forget. Like, they they were so explosive and they ran so quickly, but it was a run oriented offense. That's what he does. They create running lanes and they gash you on the ground. I mean, that's just always what he did. Jump back here to Facebook because they're going fast. I want to make sure I'm getting all y'all. Paul Stevens, protect that bourbon, man. I got you, Paul. Father John David Mathern, good morning. Riding out in Raceland at my parish. If anyone here would reach out to you for some reason, let me know. Okay, will do. Thank you. Michael Adams, good morning. Riding out in Destrehan. Kelly Gross, good morning from Houston. Left St. Charles Parish. There you go, Mama Kelly. Brian and Andy Penn from Port Sulphur. Know what it feels like. It's strange. Hits on the anniversary of Katrina. What are the odds? Yeah, no doubt. But I saw something yesterday where it was like, there's been like 4 storms that have hit on this day. 4 or 5 storms that have hit on this day. Jeremy Brinkmeyer, someone from up north, I don't know how you do it. Stay safe, stay resilient. You know, Jeremy, honestly, man, if you ask people around here, they tell you they'd rather go through a hurricane than an earthquake or tornadoes in the Midwest, you know, or ice storms. And the reason really is because you can prepare for it, right? I mean, you have noticed that the storm is coming, and so you can get out of town. You can make preparations. I think that's probably the benefit. And then you live it so often, you get used to it. Like I remember, you know, as a kid, you know, riding out Andrew in '92. Remember our fence got knocked down. So in the eye, it's so bizarre because when the eye of the storm comes, it's just so peaceful. So I woke up and I remember looking out my bedroom window and all the trees were, you know, bending all the way over. And then whatever time of day, late morning, early afternoon, the eye crossed us. And so it was calm, but our fence had been knocked down and the yard was flooded. So we went and got like on the fence and treated it like a boat. Like we were paddling around our yard on the fence. I mean, I remember that. You know, I guess you just get so accustomed to it. No. Hey, Michael Kleber, good morning. You're in Thibodeau. Be safe, man. Lawrence, stay inside. Lawrence Burley, good morning. Brett LeBlanc. Gary Ebert, a 10-hour trip to Houston. Oh, my God. From where? Oh, man. Somebody told me it was 9 hours to get from Covington to Lake Charles. Andrew was a 5. And JD, I mean, I'm looking at it. Katrina was a Cat 5 major hurricane. I'm looking at it right here. I mean, Cat 5. It went from a Category 3 to Category 5 in just 9 hours. It made its first landfall as a Category 5. Strongest hurricane ever recorded in the Gulf of Mexico before Rita broke the record. It weakened to an eye wall replacement cycle. Katrina made its second landfall as a Category 3. Well, I guess everybody's right. Brad Martin, morning, Matt. Praying for me and my wife's family, Laplace and Bell River. Everyone down in Louisiana, amen. Kirk Taylor, good morning. Jacoby Pierre, good morning. David Hawes, good morning. Praying for your family. You'll have power throughout the storm. Recognize Drew's meds and need refrigeration. So, David, that's obviously like our primary consideration. So, Erica's parents have a generator that powers the whole house. My parents do as well. So, Erica and Drew are going to go to her parents' house. I'm going to stay here to make sure everything's okay here. And then once the storm passes, if we've lost power, which I assume we will, I'll probably go over there. But yeah, that's why. I mean, we have a lot of stuff for Drew that needs to be refrigerated. We need power. So, yeah, for sure, Brian. South Plaquemine and Terrebonne. Jacob Cormier, good morning. Don't want anyone to go through what we went through last year. Yeah, Lake Charles got it last year for sure. Charlie Pennison, going to be a long day. Prayers for everyone. Jerry, retired fire captain from New Orleans, was down there for Katrina 16 years later. Youngest son's a firefighter, member of the USAR's team with the NO Fire Department. He's on duty. Please pray for everyone. Indeed, man. Glad people like your son are there working, man. Gonna need it for sure. Dale Broussard, Vandy's greater than Hawaii. Probably. It was a little odd too, man. Like Ty Graham's a pretty good coach. You know, he's been around a long time. That's Hawaii's coach he was head coach at Rice and then had a good run at Tulsa. And from there he got the Pitt job. And he was at Pitt for 1 year before he got Arizona State. Then he got fired at Arizona State. And spent the last few years kind of just meandering around the sports world and then landed at Hawaii. So I was surprised how poorly they played. Tiffany Saloom, good morning. Dylan Landry. Let's see. Preston Schulze, good morning. AJ Holland, UCLA must not have passed out free tickets for that game. Looked like a spring game. So they said the announced attendance was around 32,000. That seems generous considering it's a 90,000 seat stadium. If you saw any of the overhead shots, it was not good. They did interview UCLA's athletic director on the field during the game and was talking about, you know, creating the atmosphere and the environment for next week, and he needs everybody to come out and blah, 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 blah. I don't think there's any doubt you'll have a much bigger crowd next week than you had for this one, for many notable reasons. I mean, obviously LSU is going to bring a herd of people. More UCLA fans will be interested, and then all of the press they're trying to do to get people to show up. It'll be a better crowd. I don't think it'll be capacity, but hopefully it's a better environment for sure. But they were good, man. I mean, UCLA was the biggest compliment I could pay them is on both lines of scrimmage, man. They were big and fast and physical on both lines of scrimmage. And the thing that would have me concerned is LSU's offensive line obviously has been a concern. If that UCLA defensive front plays like they did yesterday, that could be a problem. I mean, like one of the interceptions they had, if you missed it, was like this defensive lineman kind of dropping into coverage and read the quarterback's eyes, reached over, just snagged the ball like out of midair. I mean, it was impressive, man. I mean, they were fast and aggressive. I mean, I'm not telling you I think they're going to freaking win the Pac-12 or anything, but I mean, that was a 17 and a half point line. They doubled it up. They could have scored 100 if they wanted it, you know. Anyway, Jason turned the trampoline upside down. It's okay, man. Like it's blocked by the house. It's staked and now it's chained. That trampoline ain't going nowhere. Let's see. Jared Honeycutt sounds like a great father-in-law. That is Papa Rock, who is also, as Eric would tell you, the world's greatest cook. Prayers for all of our Southern Louisiana brothers and sisters. We are praying hard for you guys and Gina. Thank you, Rode. Appreciate that, man. Alan Lesh, good morning. Craig Duga, did E-Rock's dad bring some gumbo? No, but I do understand they have a bunch of it frozen at his house, so maybe thawing that out over the next couple of days. Paul Walston. Erica's dad makes the best trampoline chains. Hey, babe. Erica? What? Somebody said, Erica's dad makes the best trampoline chains. He does. Jeez, he does. He's out there in the rain. I know. On his own. I went and talked to him. Patrick Cason, good morning. Ricky Charles Constant, what's up? Let's see, Brian Line for LSU went down to 3.5. Interesting. I hadn't checked that. Let me check that. I wonder which sportsbook that is, Brian. It opened, like, the first line, like, back in the spring was 2 for LSU and UCLA. And it got bet up to 4. Let's see where it is now. I'm still seeing 4 here, Brian. There's a 3.5. So I guess it depends on the book. I mean, 3.5 or 4, you can get it. I'm curious to see what it does. My contention was all offseason that would get bet up to a touchdown by the time we got to kickoff, and it may. But UCLA's performance yesterday may keep that line suppressed a little, so there might be a lot of value for LSU if you want to lay the points. Reagan Lee, you may not care about this, Matt. I want to see Tyron Woodley put Jake Paul to sleep tonight. So Reagan, yesterday somebody asked me on my text line about Woodley. Now, Woodley was a All-American wrestler, I think at Missouri. So his background is wrestling. He's also like 5'9". Now, I have never seen Jake Paul fight, honestly. I know he's a YouTuber. Him and his brother, they've done some big fights against celebrities and stuff. But I legitimately have not seen them fight. So I don't know how skilled of a fighter he is. I know one of them beat Ben Askren. But my concern with Woodley is, Woodley as a mixed martial artist was a great wrestler. So his objective was to take the floor to the mat, or take the fight to the mat. And just standing and trading with a skilled striker, I don't know if Woodley can do that. And I think he's probably going to give up a lot of length as well to Paul. Because Woodley's 5'9", like he's a small guy. So that may not be a great matchup for Tyron Woodley. David Haw, have the Mosconas installed a generator? Does HUDCO install generators? We have not. And the interesting, David, is every time we lose power, me and Erica, like we say, all right, we're going to do it. Like, that's going to be our next thing. We're going to get the standby generator. We got to get it done. Our neighbors have one. My parents have one. And then days go by and you forget about it. And then you just don't come back to it. And then this happens and you're like, oh, why didn't I do that? Well, anyway, so no, we don't. Billy Crochet, good morning. UCLA didn't look too good passing the ball. If that's the case next week, they're going to have a rough time against those Tigers. Remember, Bill, I'll keep reminding you, and you're right. I mean, Dorian Thompson-Robinson was not good throwing the ball. But I'll remind you, that's never been the thing Chip Kelly's offenses do. They are a run-heavy offense. They always were at Oregon. I mean, that's what they did. LeGarrette Blount and DeAnthony Thomas. I mean, think about the running backs. That's always what they were. So LaMichael James, I mean, they were a team that would run it 50 times a game, and they just went very, very fast. So I'm not so. I don't think Dorian Thompson-Robinson is going to beat, especially what we saw yesterday, that he's going to beat LSU with his arm. But do I think LSU's defensive front seven is going to be tested. We're about to find out if they're actually any better. Because that was their offensive line. I'm telling you, man, I watched their offensive line mostly in that game. The kid Crochet, the running back transfer from Michigan, is a good player. But, I mean, their offensive line went in flat, got after Hawaii's defensive front. I mean, hitting through the whistle, driving dudes, falling on dudes late. I mean, they were like, good on them, bro. I mean, they were playing a physical brand of ball. I mean, we'll see. But I think LSU's defensive front is the strength of LSU's team. And if they are, and they can stop the run from UCLA, it's a long day for UCLA. I wonder if Dwayne from Thibodeau made it out. I hope he did. I hope he brings me my damn money. Let's see. Jason, wind's blowing now over here with Blue Bonnet Nicholson. That's early, man. You shouldn't be having too much. I mean, it's still here. It's raining. Like, I'm looking outside. It's raining here, but there's no wind at all right now. Kirk, I'd rather go through a hurricane than a snowstorm, I can confirm. Alex Roboleski, are you evacuating? We're not, man. We're staying here. Hurricane is barbecue and beer. Let's go. Unfortunately for others, it's going to be far more than that. Let's see. Dustin Bolello just popped the top. Brian, my daughter lives in Baton Rouge off of Highland. Highland's a long road. Well, anywhere there. The thing I'll tell you, though, man, is Highland Road is obviously a tree-lined road. It's beautiful. But, man, Highland is probably going to be impassable after today. Because I just anticipate there'll be trees all over the road. Let's see. Jump back over here to YouTube. Sorry, y'all. This is kind of like nightcap. I guess it's one of those things where we have just a lot of audience and a lot of people commenting. So I'll stay I got nothing else to do. I'll stay here as long as y'all keep commenting, and I will get through I promise I will get through every single comment if y'all just can be patient with me. And by the way, if you're on YouTube, please smash that like button. 73 watching, only 40 likes. Please smash that like button. If you're on Facebook, if you would, please like the page, share the post, like the page, share the post, like the page, share the post. Appreciate that. Let's see. Delton Doucette. As someone that rode out Laurel and Delton, Lake Charles, praying for everyone in Southeast Louisiana. Yes, indeed, man. Cliff Nelson, concern is the mediocre LSU O-line versus an experienced UCLA D-line. Can LSU establish a run game? Cliff, I mean, I would say both. I would say both teams have a strength and a weakness, right? I would say LSU's run game against UCLA's run D, I would say advantage UCLA's run D. LSU's passing game against UCLA's secondary, big advantage LSU. I don't think UCLA is the athletes in the secondary. Based on what I saw yesterday, I think flip it over, UCLA's rush offense against LSU's run defense, that is really the key to the game right there. And then LSU secondary obviously will have a big edge over UCLA's passing offense. So if LSU can stop the run, I think they can run away with it. Or at least, maybe not run away with it, at least keep UCLA at arm's length throughout the game. PTG Toasty, good morning. Thomas Willie, good thing LSU stacked at defensive tackle. Linebackers will get tested early and often. I sure would feel better if Glenn Logan were playing. But yeah. John Melanson, is that a special bottle of whiskey behind you to the right? Yeah, man. So a lot of people do ask. This is the Fighting 69th. It's a blended Irish whiskey. And a lot of people do ask. The Fighting 69th is a tribute to the 69th Regiment and based out of New York. And they have some amazing history behind them from the Civil War all the way through present day. And the really cool thing about that is they have a trust set up associated with it to where the money they make selling Fighting 69th goes into the trust for the families of the Fighting 69th. So when soldiers are killed in action, the families of those soldiers are taken care of, notably their children's like education fund, stuff like that. So, man, if you see Fighting 69th, here, I'll show you the bottle. Hang on, let me show you the bottle. So the master blender is a guy named Chris Leskowitz, and Leskowitz gave me that bottle, which is a commemorative. So that's it. That's Fighting 69th. So if you see this, snag a bottle. It's a so it's a blended Irish whiskey, and I'm generally not a fan of Irish whiskey, but that is actually very, very good. So if you see I know I mentioned before, I know Calandros has it in Baton Rouge. I think Clint might have it up at Oak Point. If he's watching, I ask him this every time someone asks me about that. I think Clint may have it up at Oak Point in Central. I'm not sure about like Hocus Pocus or Rouse's or anything, but keep an eye out for it. If you see it, know that it's a good Irish whiskey, and you're also benefiting our military when you buy it. Let's see. Cliff Nelson, PSA, turn your refrigerator and freezer on the coldest setting. If the power goes out, things will stay cooler longer. Indeed. That's a pro tip right there. Brandy Lewis, go Tigers, be safe. Thomas Willie, honestly, we need you as long as you're willing to. We need the distraction right now. I'm good to stay, Thomas. And I don't know, man. I may even just fire up a Facebook Live and just like this evening as the storm's coming through. We'll see. Joe Delmonico, can I get on Hudco's list for Tuesday? So I know I mentioned this before. I'll say it again. Yes, and I'll go ahead and post the Hudco link. If you go, and again, y'all, honestly, I want to be 100% clear with this. I'm not soliciting business for Hudco right now because there is going to be enough work for every company to stay busy over the next year. So please don't misunderstand this as a pitch to earn your business while the storm's coming. But Joe asked, and others have asked, and you all are my morning Scone people, so I will obviously, of course, I'm going to give you a heads up on this. But we added, if you go to the website, if you go to hudcoroofing.com, I just posted in the comments on both Facebook and YouTube. Here, I'll pin it on Facebook. There is a button. I'm going to pin this there as well. Okay. There's a button on the homepage at hudcoroofing.com. There we go. There's a button on the homepage that says Hurricane Ida list or whatever it says. And we will obviously organize by priority, but also in order that we received requests. So if you want, you can go to hudcoroofing.com right now and you can fill out that form. And when the storm passes, we'll go down the list and we'll call and say, do you still need a roof inspection? If the answer is yes, you're on the list, boom, you're there. If it's no, great, we scratch you off, we move on. So if you want to go get on the list, you can now. Trivia in Pensacola getting bands and tornadoes watch. Wow. Yeah, I guess they're on the Panhandle. Wow. That's a big storm if you're getting in Pensacola. Daniel Glenn, concerned about the potential damage on campus. Looks worse than Gustav, potentially. Yeah. Survive 623. What's the schedule like for LSU while in Houston? Yeah, good question. Thanks for asking. Something sports related. But so they left yesterday. They'll practice. It's a game week, basically. So they'll have their full practice Monday, Tuesday, a lighter practice Wednesday. They'll travel to LA on Thursday. My guess is they will work out in LA on Thursday. And then Friday, they'll have their walkthrough film session. Saturday, play the game. Brad David, is Eric Gilbert's football career over? He's potentially throwing away life-changing money. His family must be so upset with him. So, Brad, I'll say this again. Eric Gilbert's family is not upset with him, and he's not throwing away life-changing money. Eric Gilbert has a very serious personal situation. And if you can't have spotted it yet, then you're probably just going to need someone to slap you in the face and tell you what's actually going on. But I saw all the people talking about, well, he couldn't pass a weed test. Stupid. That's not it. That's not it at all. Like, just piece together what's kind of happened and you can kind of figure it out. But suffice to say, like, when Kirby Smart says we're praying for Eric Gilbert and we want to get him healthy and we want what's best for him, and go listen to what Kirby Smart was saying. That doesn't sound like a kid that's throwing away a great opportunity. It sounds like a kid that's battling some stuff, and he is. Thomas Willie, good morning. Chet Buxton, think the Superdome will make it this time. Can't have Saints playing home games in Oklahoma, or was it Houston? Chet, they went back. They played half their home schedule in San Antonio and half their home schedule at Tiger Stadium that year. And they played one home game, if you remember. They played a home game against the Giants in New York. It was a Saints home game at the Meadowlands. Um, Jeb, Matt, sorry you're back. Hurts at the same time, this awful weather. Thank you for spending time with us, given all these challenges. You got it, man. Thanks for being here. PTG Toasty, biggest concern is really the pine trees we have around the house. Yeah, man, I know that was a big deal, like in like DeRitter, for example, last year. I know DeRitter is really well known for like their wood plant, or I think it's on pine trees, and maybe turn it paper or something like that. And man, it was just, they were just snapping like toothpicks. Kenneth Martin, Matt, we evacuated to Atlanta for my Houdat gear. Be safe, praying for everyone who stayed behind. Indeed, man. Daughter was 6 weeks old when Katrina happened. Wow. Katrina was career defining. I was working at WIVR at the time, and we did wall-to-wall coverage, man. It was a Sunday night into Monday morning. And then we did 16 straight days of wall-to-wall coverage. I would go in at noon, and I produced from noon to maybe from 2 to 7. I produced. From 7 to midnight, I was at the news desk doing the top of the hour news updates, or quarter of the hour news updates. And then from midnight to 5 a.m., I anchored. And then I went home, slept for a few hours, got back up and did it again. Long days. Wow, Neil Ripley, 16 hours from Kenner to Houston. Jeez. Ugh. Hurricane Andrew is the reason I always left for storms. Janet, I wish I had a landline. Tell E-Rock to secure the landline. She's not laughing. Mad Grove, 30 miles south of Shreveport. Never had to deal with what you do weather-wise. People in Tennessee ask me why people live near the Gulf. Others just don't get it. Yeah. Spurge, what's up, man? Good morning. Let's see. Cliff Nelson, ask E-Rock if the trampoline chains have grill lines. What? Cliff said, ask E-Rock if trampoline chains have grill lines. You didn't sleep good last night? Okay. Dylan Gotro, good morning. Yeah. Matt, get PEC to install one while they're doing your outside work. I could ask Pinnacle if they do generators. I really don't know if they do. I don't think they do. I could ask Shane. Not a bad idea. Ask E-Rock, are you willing to divert the YouTube earnings from the landline to a generator fund?
Yeah, I want a generator.
John Boudreau, hard to get a look at UCLA. That was like LSU playing Vandy. Can't get a really good picture due to the opponent. We just have to wait and see. You know, John, here's the difference. Like, if they were playing an FCS school, I could probably understand. Vegas had that spread at 17. They beat them by 34. They doubled up the point spread. I mean, objectively, UCLA dominated both lines of scrimmage. And while I think LSU's I'm very interested to see LSU's run defense against the UCLA offense. I think that's going to be the question mark that determines whether or not UCLA is able to be competitive in the game. But I am worried about LSU's offensive line. I am. Because when the reports are that LSU's offensive line has been getting dominated by the defensive line, and and you see a big veteran defensive line like UCLA had active, I'm concerned about that. I'm concerned about LSU's offensive line, and when they keep telling you none of their running backs have emerged or separated, like that's concerning. That is. So,
Amazon or is that used?
I'm sorry.
Is that Amazon or is that used? I heard it not.
Oh, I think it was my chair. Was that? Sorry. I don't think Amazon's delivering this morning, babe.
We're not coming today?
I don't think so. I think everything's shut down. What are you waiting on? Nyquilus Dilwad. Yo, bro. Jonathan Martin, Joey Vincent, football team left BR at 9:30 last night, arrived at Houston an hour ago. That's crazy. Scott Loom 12. All I keep thinking is here comes 80 miles per hour right up your donkey. Damon Hinderberger, since you aren't going anywhere, is it too early for a report? Nah, never too early, right? Justin Dupuy, why are you moving like an old man leg day yesterday? No, man, I hurt my back. Let's see. Rollo McDonough in NO now. What's the forecast for BR? I think we're expected to get. I mean, it's already raining here, and we're expected to get the worst of it. We've already had some heavy rain. But we're expected to get the worst of it like later this afternoon, right?
That's only tonight. Like I said, when do we need to come to your house? And he said, like, midnight. I'm like, we're not coming at midnight.
I don't think it's that late, babe.
If he just,
I mean, we're already feeling outer bands. I mean,
it's drizzling outside.
you see, all right, so Thomas Willie said Fox 8 New Orleans has the eye to the east of Baton Rouge at midnight, but that's the eye. That's the middle of the storm at midnight.
Right, I told my friend to about 8.
Probably before then.
I was gonna kind of play it by ear. Just
Okay. Matt, wondering if the storm will have an impact on the Saints season. I hope not. I mean, that's obviously nothing any of us know at this point, but hope not. I mean, as long as the Dome and the city are able to host an event. I mean, keep in mind you're supposed to play Green Bay in the opener a week from Sunday. 2 weeks from today, 14 days. Can you get things cleaned up and ready to roll in 14 days? We'll see. David Wallace, good morning, Peyton Joseph. Matt, are y'all going to be okay? Yeah, Peyton, we'll be fine, man. I mean, people are resilient. I mean, it's going to be bad here. There's no question. I mean, it's going to be bad, but people are resilient. So, let's see, Jeb, feel awkward asking sports questions, but here goes. Honestly, Jeb, I think I'd rather sports questions. At least I can answer those. There's nothing I can answer about Ida that we don't already know. Is the largest question for LSU the fact that neither coordinator have any college coordinating backgrounds, positions, period? I don't know that that's the biggest question, Jeb, but I think that's something that has been overlooked by LSU fans. Listen, we normally just assume, like, it's funny, when you're into the summer, it's when optimism abounds, right? Every player is going to be an All-American. Every freshman is going to be awesome. Every coaching hire was the best this or that. A year ago, we would have been hyping up Bo Pelini. And it just doesn't always go that way. So, I mean, I think there's legitimacy to that. I mean, Jake Peetz has never called plays. And Durante Jones hasn't been a defensive coordinator since 2009 at Bowie State in Division II. I mean, there's a very legitimate question of, like, this is LSU. You couldn't find coordinators with experience? I mean, that's a very legitimate question. That's not to say these guys can't do well. But yeah, I mean, it's a legitimate question. Taylor Castagnier. UCLA looked fast on defense. They did. They were fast and aggressive. Good. I mean, they look good. They did. They look good. They were playing an inferior opponent, no question, but they look good. And I think if you're from UCLA's perspective, you'd be more concerned if they struggled against an inferior opponent, right? Let's see. Morning, Matt. How's the back feeling? Sorry if you already answered just now, joining. All good, Colton. Appreciate it, man. Getting better. Was standing yesterday, which is good. Staying on top of my pain medicine, my anti-inflammatories, and all that stuff. So, it's a process. I'll get better. Brett Dagro about to need HUDCO out here in Walker. Well, Brett, I mentioned it. I've got the HUDCO link pinned on both comments or on both on YouTube and Facebook. You can get on the list now for inspections if you want, or you can wait. But we will go by priority and like order received. So if you want, you can click the link and you get on the list now. If not, no biggie. Again, I've said it several times already this morning. I'll keep repeating it. There's going to be enough work for every roofing company to be busy for a year. So. Let's see. If we have an 8-4 season, is O out, and who you got as the hire? 8-4, I think. Seven and 5, he's gone. 7 and 5, he's gone. I'm convinced of that. Not guessing. Like I'm talking based on conversations I've had. If they go 7 and 5, he's out. 9 and 3 and nothing more with the Title IX stuff. I think he's good. 8 and 4, he's teetering, man. I think it depends on how the 8 and 4 looks. You know, if you lose to Bama, A&M, Florida, Auburn, you finish 4th in the West. Probably out. Taylor, personally see this game being a shootout, but LSU's athleticism takes over late. They pull away by 2 scores. Maybe. I think you're underestimating how veteran that UCLA team is. And they returned 20 starters. They got super seniors. A bunch of those guys have played a lot of football. I don't know. We'll see. I'm excited. It looks like we're going to get a good game. I'm excited about that.
When are you flying out here?
What, man?
When are you flying out?
Thursday.
You think you're so done?
Well, see how it goes over the next 24 hours.
You have no power to show them?
Let's see how it goes over the next 24 hours. Let's see. Sorry, the Rainbow Warriors isn't a great measuring stick when it comes to the SEC. I mean, there's pros and cons to that. I'm not saying they did it against Alabama, but the flip side of it, trivia, is what I said earlier. You're more concerned if they don't dominate that team. You know what I mean? Let's see what concerns you most about our matchup with UCLA after last night. And what do you think we will thrive with? Biggest concern is LSU's offensive line. I mean, UCLA's defensive front seven was really physical and aggressive, and I think if LSU's offensive line isn't good, I think that's a problem in that game. I am most interested to see LSU's defensive line against that UCLA rush offense because that's a strength on strength. So let's see. Charlie Bruce, sorry, the back will get there. I slipped a disc in March, saw Underwood chiropractic. I'm back dunking a basketball now. Man, I do this 2-3 times a year. Unfortunately, know it too well. Yeah, Matt, you got any Saints players on the bubble you'd like to make the team? I know the third game being canceled doesn't help the final roster cuts. Yeah, keep in mind too. So to answer your question, Jeb, not really. I don't think that there's a player I'd be bullish on. I think Tony Jones, the running back, is going to make the team. But keep in mind, and again, Mike Triplett said this, and I think he's right, and it was a really good point. It was, don't be surprised if you see some veterans cut on Tuesday, because procedurally, the Saints will have to allocate a spot on the 53 for Michael Thomas and Will Lutz. So you may see a veteran cut because the younger guys would have to clear waivers, and you don't want other teams to be able to submit a waiver claim. You can tell these veteran guys, hey, we're going to cut you today, but don't go anywhere because we're going to sign you right back tomorrow. So maybe he mentioned guys like Will Clapp or someone like that. So just file that away. John Boudreaux is Frost out of Nebraska after this year. They looked terrible. They looked awful. I mean, I think he said after the game, it was the same movie. It looks the same. They are so poorly coached. It's unbelievable. Taylor, I believe Chip Kelly will get points on the board. Got to be able to run the ball, stop the run against UCLA. What's everybody saying about Bacon? What's up with that? Bacon. Turd Ferguson. Thanks to Houston and NRG for hosting the Tigers this week. I wonder how much that costs. I don't know what wow. Oh wow. Yeah, I don't know. I'll see if I can ask around and get that answer. I don't know if Houston is going to charge LSU anything to use the facilities. For LSU, they're just going to have to pay for hotels for the players, like that, and the staff. Like that's going to be the problem. Is you evacuate your entire team. You've got, if you're bringing all 120 players and coaches and staff and support staff. I mean, you need a giant block of hotel rooms to stay for your whole team. I mean, that's for last night, then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, for 4 nights before you fly to LA on Thursday. Mark Chairs. Hardco keeping you dry. Where are we? Jeff McKithen, morning. Y'all stay safe. Might get ugly indeed, man. Richie Burt, the speed at quarterback is the only thing that concerns me. Their running back looked pretty good too, man. Paul Batts, morning from Houston. My heart is sad for my native state. Y'all in Homa, down the bayou, New Orleans, Baton Rouge, and my thoughts. Thank you, Paul. We'll be all right, man. We'll make it. Preston Landry, morning from Gonzales. Fire department, ready to ride this out. All right, Preston, y'all be safe too, man. Kirk, depending on how bad this storm gets, do you think the recovery efforts will limit the LSU traveling army? Maybe, Kirk. I mean, maybe. Let's see how it goes. I mean, in 2005, a whole herd of people still made the trip out to Tempe for Arizona State. So, let's see. I'm afraid there will be trees down everywhere on the LSU campus. The valley could get tore up, especially with the video big screens. The thing, Paul, in the past, I wouldn't worry about the video boards. I mean, those things are so heavy and fastened. The thing within Tiger Stadium you could worry about, the goalposts. Goalposts could get blown down. The signage, on the fascia, that could get blown and sort of torn and tattered. But the flag poles, those types of things, maybe. But overwhelmingly, I mean, it's a giant concrete block. It's, the stadium will be fine. Derek Maness, good morning. Michael Adams, best bourbon for a hurricane. Whichever one you have available, man. Ben Dupuy, what'd you think of Nebraska? That god-awful safety. Did y'all notice, by the way, that I didn't realize this, Connor Culp, the former LSU kicker, is the Nebraska kicker. And he was all Big Ten last year. and missed 2 PATs yesterday. Not a great day for Connor Cole. Kyle Milliken, Matt, when are you going to show us that outdoor kitchen? Kyle, it's not ready, man. I mean, and this has certainly slowed it. So the structure itself is built. They had to extend the roof. They had to build the encasement for the refrigerator, the bar top and the L turn and the cutouts for the grill and all. That they have got the next stage. The plumber was here on Friday. This storm is obviously not helping, but basically once they get the plumbing and electrical done, well, the electrical's done. Once they get the plumbing done, then it's just put in the appliance, put on the countertops are done. So when it's done, we'll go out there. We'll do a show out there when it's done. Daniel Sinets, good morning. Andrew Bienvenu, y'all stay safe. We got out yesterday. Hope everyone makes out okay. Amen. Paul Batts, Scone gets in the roofing business the year of a massive hurricane. Talk about great timing. Paul, I know I've said it a couple times, honestly, like, it's very conflicting because, yes, from the business side, it will be a very profitable year. Yes. But would I trade, like, in a millisecond trade it to have the storm not come? Absolutely. Because we would have done fine anyway, so. But yeah, you're not wrong. Lenny Moss, y'all good? Yeah, we're good, Lenny. Y'all good? Hope so. I think we'll be fine, man. We're all set up. The house has been prepared. We've battened down the hatches. And I'll tell you the other thing too, man. Like, in all seriousness, when we moved into this house, we installed from Relief Windows those impact resistant windows. You ever seen the commercials with Brandon, like, with a crowbar, like, hitting the crap out of the window and they don't break? Like, we have those all around our house, especially on the outside. So I really don't worry about projectiles or anything like that. Should be good. Kevin Toller, I live in Houston. LSU's going to be in Houston. Coach O and I will meet Wednesday night and discuss the secret trick plays. Give him my best, please. Matt Godwin, good morning. Cody Anderson, good morning. Toller, what's up, man? Let's see. If myself or anyone were to need a roof after this thing, who do you recommend? Yeah. I've said it 100 times, I'll say it again. There's going to be enough work for every company to stay busy for a year. So we just want to make sure that we help in as timely a manner as we can. We're set up. Our HUDCO Bossier office is sending 100 workers here on Tuesday. So we are going to hit the ground running to get as many people tarped and back up and rolling as we can ASAP. So we will certainly have the manpower. In addition to our already existing Baton Rouge crews, we're bringing 100 workers down from Freeport Bossier. HUDCO's going to be ready. Let's see, 5 p.m. is where Baton Rouge is supposed to start getting it. Okay. Annie Van Kerkhove, good morning. Brandon Lively, how do you think this will affect LSU's first home game? Brandon, it's really impossible to say, man, until we see what happens, right? If there's damage around campus, that may limit tailgating. But they're going to have the game. Yancey Benoit, good morning. Been a while. Emma's doing fantastic. Go Tigers. Great to hear that, Yancey. Hope you're all doing well, man. Michael Castello, morning, Matt. Hope you and yours stay safe. Thank you, Michael. Elliot Doge. If we're to get rid of Coach O because of all the reasons, who Who'd you replace him with that has such great recruiting pull? I think we need to take that into consideration. So Elliot, it's LSU, and the last 3 coaches at LSU have won a national championship. Your program has been established among college football's elite for 20 years, and you're in a talent-rich state. Whoever, like, I could be LSU's head coach and assemble a staff of recruiters and do fine. Like, that's not the consideration. Let's see. Carl the Cat, Saints are going to cut Murray. I'm not so sure, Carl. Now, I say this. They may cut Latavius. They got to keep 3 running backs. So you know Kamara, I think Tony Jones is going to be there. And really the question is, do you keep Dwayne Washington or Murray? Look up Murray's contract. I think Latavius Murray may be one of the guys that gets cut and they bring back, like I was referring to. Let's see. Murray's contract. Let's see. Let's see. So his cap hit's 4.1. His dead cap is 1.8. So it really wouldn't hurt them financially to cut him 1.8 dead cap money. And dead cap next year is only $850K. So if they cut him, it's really no big deal. They just got to decide if they want Latavius Murray or they want Dwayne Washington. I think is kind of the question. Let's see. Scott McClendon. Morning, Matt. Thank you for your dedication to Morning Scone. Prayers to all Louisianians during the storm. I won't sleep until the storm leaves Louisiana and a lot of family and friends there. And trivia, you're all over Hawaii. They were god-awful. We're a turnover machine. Well, 2 of the turnovers were actually just really brilliant defensive plays. You have to give UCLA some credit for playing well. You can't just crap on everything that they did en route to a 44-10 win. They were physical at the line of scrimmage. They took advantage of mistakes. They created plays on defense. I mean, there was some good they did. Jesse Brown, Matt, do you think the Saints keep 6 wide receivers or 6 linebackers? Considering I don't think there's 6 wide receivers worthy of a spot, I'd go 6 linebackers. And in part because if you were to keep a 6th wide receiver, it would have to be someone that would thrive on special teams, and I don't think that guy is there. I mean, unless if you're thinking like Tommy Lee Lewis is going to be your returner while Deontay Harris serves his suspension type deal. I mean, maybe that, but... Matt, are you excited to see Jameis's arm strength opening up Sean's offense? Absolutely, but you also need a deep threat at receiver, which I don't think they have. You know, they hadn't really brought in that over-the-top game breaker since they traded Brandon Cooks because Drew couldn't push the ball downfield. I think they were kind of hoping Kevin White could come in and be that guy, but boy, gave him two opportunities to catch slants. He dropped them both. Oh. Charlie Broussard, I don't see LSU losing to Florida, Bama, A&M, and Auburn all in 1 year. That's crazy to even think about. I mean, I'm with you, Charlie. And I don't think they're going to lose all 4 of those games. I told you my prediction. My prediction is that they're 9-3. I think they lose to Bama. I think they lose at Ole Miss. And I think they split Florida, Auburn, A&M. I think they lose one of those. I think they beat Auburn and probably split Florida and A&M. I hope beat Florida. I think A&M's a really big challenge, but we'll see. Terry Alario, what's up, man? Good morning, Terry. UCLA looked good yesterday. Hope it was because Hawaii's so bad. I think it's a little bit of both. Scott McClendon, thank goodness for weather apps on the internet. During Betsy, all we had was a little transistor radio. Wow. Can you imagine? But y'all tune in if you do want storm coverage. If you lose power, remember Talk 107.3, our sister station. They'll have coverage for you there. Talk 107.3 FM in Baton Rouge. And then I know they're streaming on their Facebook page as well for as long as you have internet. Terrell Guidry, Matt, LSU will beat UCLA by at least 20 points last year. LSU last year will be this year's UCLA team. I don't know what that means. Terrell. And I will disagree with the 20-point win. I think LSU. I do think LSU will cover the 4, but I think it's more like a 27-21 type game. Maybe 31-24, something like that. Charlie Broussard, LSU's campus is the least of my concerns. LSU has plenty of money to recover. Charlie, I think it's not just, and by the way, to say LSU has plenty of money is actually really short-sighted. I mean, the athletic department operated at about an $80 million budgetary shortfall last year, and the campus as a whole, considering higher ed funding has been slashed, you'd probably be more looking at the potential of like federal dollars, like FEMA money coming in. But it's not even that, Charlie, really. It's more timing, right? If what people are saying is if there's damage to the stadium, well, you're 13 days away from a game in Tiger Stadium. Can the stadium be up to code to be able to host a game is kind of what they're saying. Good thing there isn't 10,000 setbacks to get ruined at Alec Box. You're talking about seatbacks? I don't know why they get ruined. Be honest, Matt, after watching that game, do you think LSU will lose because UCLA looked fast against trashy Hawaii? Trivia, I didn't think they were going to lose to begin with. But I think yesterday validated what I thought that UCLA was at. Because the thing is, Trivia, I'm guessing you and many others didn't watch Hawaii last year. In a very odd twist, I did. Not Hawaii, UCLA. In a very odd twist, I did. Like whenever I'm in studio and I'm doing pregame for 5 hours, we have 5 TV screens up, and based on the time of the game, you tend to watch some of the same teams over and over and over if they have the same kickoff times. So like if LSU's playing a night game and we're watching the 11 a.m. and 2:30 kickoffs, well, teams that typically play in those day windows, we end up watching them a lot. So UCLA is one of those teams that I actually got to watch play last year. Like I watched them gag away the game against USC. I mean, that game, they had USC in the Coliseum beat. I think USC got the ball with like 30 seconds left and put together like a 30-second scoring drive. It ended 43-38. Here you go. UCLA kicked a field goal with 52 seconds left in the game to go up 38-36. With 52 seconds left. USC got the ball, 2 plays, 43 yards, 36 seconds, Slovis to Amon-Ra St. Brown, and they won the game. Like, UCLA gagged away games last year. I'm telling you, they're a better they were a better team last year than their 3-4 record. I'm just telling you, man, like I watched that team play, and like they lost in double overtime to Stanford. It was a game they had no business losing. They lost a game to Colorado early in the season. They had no business losing. They only lost to Oregon by 3. I mean, I'm telling you, man, like I'm not UCLA's hype man. All I'm saying is everyone's saying that LSU is going to beat UCLA by 20, 30 points. They're going to roll them because UCLA sucks. And what do you learn from why? I'm telling you, you're missing the mark. I'm telling you, man, it's a better team than you're giving them credit for. I'm not telling you they're a contender. I'm just telling you they're going to put up more of a fight than you all are assuming. Where are we? Whoop. Matthew Lusto, buddy, just got into Houston 12 hours from Ponchatoula. Oh my God. Got about Old Forester Statesman to sip with him tonight. That's good. Yes, I have had it. Old Forester Statesman is good. I like all the Old Forester offerings. I mean, I haven't had one I don't like. Find out what's in the binder at dinner. Let's see. Scott, my sister says she tried to get a generator installed. They told her because of the lack of COVID production and demand, she won't be able to get a generator for a year. Oh, God. Spurge, Cajun Army will be on point. Brad David, will you miss doing pregame with T-Bob? Well, I guess I can let this out, the cat out the bag. Because T-Bob and I will not be doing pregame this year. This year, pregame is me and Jeremy Hill. T-Bob and I are going to do a podcast together. It will be twice a week. It'll drop Tuesday to recap the previous week, and Friday to preview the weekend. So yeah, if you were someone who enjoyed listening to me and T-Bob, or let me rephrase, enjoyed listening to me talk about football and T-Bob know nothing about anything, then maybe you should listen to our podcast. It'll be available, first episode will be available on Friday. Matt, is LSU going to be forced to approach the running game by committee? Jeb, probably, unless somebody emerges. Matt, I know you mentioned this over the last few weeks. Your post-game show will be with Rohan. Heard Jordy says he and Ro had a show too. I don't know what Jordy's doing. I don't know what Jordy's doing with Ro. I don't know. Apollo Bebo in 1985. Too bad we don't play LSU football. We would all be evacuated to H-Town. Hashtag priority. I don't really understand that. I mean, what's the problem with them evacuating the football team? I mean, they got a game they have to get ready to play. They're not sure that they can play it or continue to prepare here, so you go there to prepare. I mean, of course that's a priority. It's naive to think it wouldn't be. You're talking about $100 million revenue generator, LSU football. I mean, yeah, absolutely, you got to play that game. That's why they push. It's why I was the one person who kept yelling all last year they're going to have a football season, because they have to have a football season. Hell yes on the podcast. Jet ski bazookas, baby. I don't know what that means. What's the podcast called? The podcast is called Scone and Tea Because They Made Us. Because they're basically making us do a podcast together. So I get to spend time with T-Bob. As the Title IX issue drags along, has there been a deadline set for a resolution? Nope. I mean, Cliff, you got to keep in mind, man, how many lawsuits are involved. Not just the federal Department of Education investigation, but also the Title IX lawsuits that have been filed by Sharon Lewis, by other former students that are accusers. And in, for example, the Sharon Lewis lawsuit, when she names a dozen defendants, every one of those defendants has their own attorney, and every one of those defendants has to have their hearings, their day in court, their process of discovery. Like, this is going to be a years-long process. Years-long process. UCLA won't be missing a day of practice, so LSU definitely shouldn't either. All for them evacuating. I stayed in Baton Rouge, though. For sure, man. I mean, I got no problem. That's sort of just a cynical point of view to say, like, oh, they play football, so they get evacuated. Well, yeah, I mean, of course. Like, I don't have anything against that. You have the means to do it. You get them out of town, okay? Carl the Cat, I know you're thrilled doing a podcast with your buddy T-Bob. At least it'll only be like 20 minutes in studio instead of 5 hours. David Hawes, ask E-Rock today. I don't know. We could do ask E-Rock. E-Rock's sitting right there. If there are questions and she's down for it, she might be a little nervous. So Erica's nervous about the storm. She's got a little anxiety.
It's like not knowing.
I know.
Triggering something. What do we do?
I know. Do you want to come do Ask E-Rock?
No questions?
If y'all have Ask E-Rock questions, she'll come over and do Ask E-Rock. Michael Simmons, good morning. Thank you. Ben Dupuy, did you not get along with T-Bob? People all want to know that drama. Erica loves T-Bob. She makes some cookies. She's not in the mood today.
I am. I'm sorry. I'm just like trying to charge everything and figure out what works and doesn't.
Yeah, we do need to make sure we charge all of our stuff. Yeah. I know.
Okay, don't take all this with me and then.
Ben Dupuy, did you not get along with T-Bob? How do I answer that? It's a complicated question. Richie Bird, Hawaii threw a pick on a screen pass. The punt block was blocked by the punt rusher's shin, LOL. And you know what? They said that was the first blocked punt that Hawaii had since 2008. First time Hawaii had a punt blocked since 2008. Does LSU have a bottleneck at the quarterback position next year? I mean, Jeb, wouldn't you have thought the same thing this year, right? You would have had Brennan, Johnson, Finley, Nussmeier. You would have had 4. Well, look what happened. Finley transfers, Brennan gets hurt. Now you're down to 2 and a walk-on. I mean, it's just the nature. It's just the nature of the position, man. Like, guys don't stay; they transfer, so you have to constantly be bringing them in. I just, a bottleneck is a good thing. Honestly, you have options. So I know people worry like, well, is this guy going to transfer? Like you can't worry about that. What you have to worry about is hitting on a guy that's going to be your dude for 2 or 3 years and give you time to develop somebody else. You know, like, I mean, the reality is you got Johnson, Nussmeier in the wings, Walker Howard behind him. All 3 of those guys aren't finishing their career at LSU. There's not. I mean, guys don't sit and wait 3-4 years. I mean, Miles Brennan is the outlier. That just doesn't happen. So, I mean, Finley lasted 1 year. Gone. Let's see what happens now with Nussmeier. I mean, Max Johnson, let's say Max Johnson plays great, balls out, and he's a starter again next year, and Nussmeier's waiting, and then here comes Walker Howard, and then another quarterback behind him. Maybe Nussmeier's the odd man out who decides to go somewhere else. I don't know. Or maybe Max Johnson plays terribly, loses the job, and Nussmeier wins it, and then Johnson transfers. Who knows? I mean, you know, it's just the nature of that position, man. Yeah, that's right, Carl. It's a good thing to have after years of not having quarterbacks. It's so true. Like, I would rather have too many good ones than be awful at that position. I don't think LSU will ever be QBU, if you get what I mean. They always get great athletes at other positions. So here's the thing, Charlie, which is interesting. The big problem is that, and like I've talked about this a lot over the years when LSU went through that decade of poor quarterback play, but the thing is, Louisiana has not had a run of 15 years or so where they just didn't produce quarterbacks. You know, you had a long run of quarterbacks out of the state in the 70s and the 80s. And you could talk about guys like Tommy Hotson in the mid-late 80s and and then even into the early 90s where you had Peyton Manning and you had Josh Booty and then you had every now and again you have a Brock Berlin, who signed with Florida. But the point is, Louisiana at the high school level, and trust me, I mean, I called high school games for years, and I know there's other people watching who've done the same, but Louisiana high school football got into a habit, whatever, an era where they would put the best athlete at quarterback. Like Trey Palmer, right? Played quarterback. John Trey Kirkland played quarterback. Warwick Dunn played quarterback at Catholic. You just saw that a lot where the best athlete would play quarterback. Well, with the advent of 7-on-7s, you're starting to see passing quarterbacks become more of a thing in the state. Just look at what we're looking at here, where you had TJ Finley, where you have Walker Howard, kid from Zachary, who's committed to A&M. Crap. Holstein, Eli Holstein, Arch Manning. You see my point? Like, the state is producing great quarterbacks again because of the advent of 7-on-7. You're seeing passing offense, route tree concepts earlier and earlier now because of 7-on-7s. And so you're seeing the quarterback position actually develop in the state. So I do think we're in an era where you're going to start seeing better quarterback play. And I know Max Johnson's from Georgia, and you got Nussmeier from with Texas, I guess, or Alabama, where I don't know where technically he signed from, but he's got roots in the state. But I think you're going to see an era where LSU is signing better quarterbacks now. Trivia Carter, ask E-Rock, what's up with my Drew Bucks? Erica? 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 Trivia said, ask E-Rock, what's up with my Drew Bucks?
Oh.
Ooh. Oh, she forgot. See? I bet you wouldn't have forgotten about Lenny. If your second string quarterback is transferring, you're setting yourself up to have the next guy up be a freshman every time. Thomas, that's just the nature of it. Or you dip into the transfer portal. Look at Notre Dame right now. Ian Book goes pro. What do? They go get Jack Cohn from Wisconsin, a guy with starting quarterback experience. Like, that's the nature of how the position is going to go. You're going to have transfers. Like, that's just what it's going to be. Ask E-Rock, what will be the decoration theme for the Moscona Outdoor Kitchen grand opening?
I don't know. Football, maybe?
Trivia said that's right. Lenny would have had it already. Lenny also lives around the corner.
Lenny actually has some.
Oh, Lenny has some. Oh, because Lenny came to the party. It's true, Trivia. Lenny came to the party. He does have some. Cliff Nelson asked E-Rock, if Walgreens is closed, where does Matt get sunblock for his head? What's so funny about that? Eric is really nervous. It's okay. You can be really nervous. But I'm just trying to tell them that's why you're not hearing loud E-Rock, laughing, answering questions. No. Do what you got to do over there. We're almost done. I'm not making fun of you. I was just telling them you're nervous. I'm not making fun of you, babe. I'm just telling them that you're nervous. I'm just trying to get them, I'm just explaining. In 2023, you'll be lucky to get the third best quarterback in Louisiana, Ricky Collins. Ricky Collins out of Woodlawn. He's a good player. Really good player. They're not going to get Arch, though. I'm pretty sure of that. Is this the setup for a championship run next year? Trivia, I've said that all off season. I think 2022 is the year when the guys that were freshmen last year are juniors. Jeb Whitley asked E-Rock, do Matt and Feinswag have beef? The most wonderfully uncomfortable segment all week.
No, they don't beef. People don't understand all that's an act.
They're bits, yeah. But Lee and I get along great. I love Lee. Yeah. But that's the point. It's wonderfully uncomfortable. It's old guy who had his day as a sports reporter who now writes about volleyball, plays water polo, drinks beer, and travels the world. I think it's wonderfully interesting. Just the contrast between me and Lee. And that's why it plays well on air. People ask me about that segment all the time.
Is Baton Rouge like...
Here we go. Let's do some geography. She's like, is Baton Rouge... All right, tell me.
I'm saying when they write it on a map.
When they write it on a map.
Where's the dot? Is it in the middle of the Baton and the Rouge? Is it by the Baton? Is it Where is it?
I think it kind of depends on what map, because some may have...
Well, why would people do it the same?
I don't know, because Baton Rouge is long spelled out. But
So like, do they put it in? I assume they put it in
Let me see
between
your
the
map.
Baton and the Rouge.
let me see your map.
Well, now I just can't. This one isn't good because they wrote no cities on there. But like, let me find Chad Hayward. I know you're pumping 107.3, but like social media wise, Chad Hayward is like the guy to follow. BJ Lanois said to do that, and I did it, and he knows everything. This guy knows everything.
Okay.
He's not even a forecaster.
So you should definitely trust him because he's a
everyone
guy on
does.
the internet.
No, he's not a guy on the internet. This is what he does. Don't make fun of him. He's great. But I'm just confused whenever I see the Baton and the Rouge. Like where? Hold on.
What are his credentials?
I don't know.
We should trust him though because he's on the internet.
No, we should trust him because I trust people who have followed him in the past. Such as BJ, such as everyone I've said his name to. They're like, oh yeah, no, I follow him all the time. He's always right on. You don't have to listen to me. I don't care. But I'm just saying, like, I'm just confused on like where Baton Rouge really is. Like for instance, like on this map, like, are we like the dot? Like, I mean, are we like in between the two words? Are we the Baton? Are we the Rouge?
So
where are we?
East Baton Rouge Parish is the one like above the dot. The dot would be like southeast Baton Rouge. That's kind of like where we are right now.
The actual dot
The
is
center
us.
of that dot is like where we would be. This whole drawn out thing right here. This whole drawn out thing right here with the long thing on top. That's East Baton Rouge Parish. That's our whole parish, and we're in the southeast part of the parish. So we're like right down here.
Like where the big circle is.
Yeah, we're where the circle is. All right.
So any dot I see, we're below it.
Not necessarily. Trivia, Ask E-Rock. Is Matt too aggressive with Dwayne from Thibodeau?
Yes.
Why?
We're gonna argue. I don't want to do that today. I think you're a very aggressive person.
Scott McClendon, with all the hurricane distractions, can LSU keep focused on UCLA?
Well, yeah. Now that they're not here.
The dot has to be the left of Baton Rouge. They normally put it above the lines marking I-10 and I-12,
Thank
I
you.
think.
Whoever said that.
It's Charlie Broussard.
Okay, now tell me again. Explain
That
though
doesn't.
in terms.
That's not always the case.
Okay.
It's just not.
Never mind, Charlie.
Ask E-Rock, Trivia Carter. Best food your dad makes for a hurricane?
Gumbo. He's already got it going.
Ooh, all right. Gumbo.
And probably breakfasts. He's gonna cook some good breakfasts. What?
Breakfasts. Erica added a few syllables to breakfast.
You should tell him that story.
I will not tell them
You
that
should have known
story.
way back when we were barely dating
No.
that I was not a grammar police.
No.
So you can't ever get mad at your grammar. Like you loved me, you fell in love with me that way, talking all bad and stuff.
That is funny.
We were like 2 months in.
I know, it is funny.
You didn't get mad at me that day.
Stephen Robeek, what's up?
Hey Stephen. Yeah, Penny's sick.
Oh.
Carly was texting me last night. Yeah.
What's
So
wrong?
can you get in touch with Lady Brumman, please? But then Lady Brumman got back with her. She has flu.
Oh.
I know.
Oh, I think we might be done.
I came here for that.
Well, we didn't really give them a fair warning and heads up. And I've been going for 1 hour and 40 minutes.
Jesus
And I kind of have to pee now.
Yeah.
Ask E-Rock, best Netflix and chill movie?
I've
Do you
we don't
wanna
watch
tell
Netflix.
We love Netflix.
We don't like it. We've tried it, and there's nothing on there I like.
In fairness, that was like 10 years ago.
Well, yeah.
And I think they've started producing their own shows now and stuff that people like.
Yeah.
But no. All right. Bueller. All right. I still can't figure out that back thing with the heating pad. Every time I
It's
turn it
not.
on,
It's broken. You need to take it back to the place.
why is it broken?
Because I just said it's fully charged according to the thing, and then it won't turn on. Like it's not working.
Maybe I pushed the wrong button.
No, I'm doing it. I tried it.
It came on this morning. I got to turn it on.
Right, there's something's not right then. It should be fully charged, but it's not.
I think I pushed the wrong button. Like it was on, and then I was pushing
But
buttons.
it's
I
not
think I
working.
shut
I
down.
just tried it. It's not working now.
Okay.
So then it's not working. It's broken. I would definitely take that thing back.
Ask E-Rock, did you watch Weekend Beanie 2?
No, but I want to.
I guess that's Weekend at Bernie's too.
Can't be as good as the first one. The first one's like the best.
I don't think I laughed one time watching that movie.
I laughed the whole time watching that movie. Everybody else thinks it's funny but you.
Erica, it's a 30-year-old comedy.
It's hilarious. It's even funnier now because it's so old, I think.
That chick in that movie was hot.
It's not hot.
Erica did not think the lady Gwen in Weekend at Bernie's was cute. She's like, why do they think she's cute? Well, it was very dated stylistically. She was a pretty lady.
No.
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
Bueller. Spurge, why do you keep saying Bueller? I mean, Bueller. I mean, I know I get it, Ferris Bueller. Ben Stein, Ferris Bueller. Lenny Moss, Ask E-Rock.
Hey, Lenny.
Y'all good?
Yeah, we're good, Lenny, but I'm evacuating to my parents, so I'll be asking you for some updates in case Matt won't reply to me. You know, sometimes you're sleeping or something. So, especially Lenny, y'all have all those connections with like Cox people and y'all just know everybody. So I'll need some updates on like our current situation with the fixings of things around the hood.
Yeah, I don't know anybody.
Stay near your phone, Lenny.
I don't know
Lenny
anybody.
gets Cox update. Lenny gives me all my updates about what's going on here. He knows all like the neighborhood people and the energy people.
Yeah, I don't know nobody in the neighborhood.
No.
I don't worry about that. I ain't trying to worry about that.
Why didn't say you are? I just said Lenny gets me my info.
Ask E-Rock, Cliff Nelson.
Hi, Cliff.
Weekend at Bernie's or Talladega Nights?
Weekend at Bernie's is way funnier. There's one funny part of Talladega Nights when they say their blessing. That's it.
Trivia
Weekend
card.
at Bernie's. If you have not seen that and you don't lose power, or if you haven't seen it in the last 20 years and you don't lose power, or you can watch it on a device, I recommend that being your hurricane movie. It is very funny. It's hilarious.
Ask E-Rock, trivia card.
Hi, trivia.
Would you punch a dolphin
Jesus.
to end the hurricane?
Yes. 100%.
She wouldn't punch a dolphin for $50 billion, but she would punch a dolphin
Yes.
to end the hurricane.
I'll punch a dolphin for a Generac right now, is what I would do. So I'm not packing up my life again.
Well, maybe you should buy one then.
Maybe I need a raise from St. Jude. All my carpool overtime is not paying off.
Janet, have y'all talked about the Zello app to be used as a walkie-talkie during the storm? We haven't talked about it here, Janet, but I did download it. Our HUDCO team all got on it yesterday, so that way we can communicate in case
I'm
we...
hearing conflicting things about that, though. I'm hearing that, like, it won't really work when there's no... Like, if cell towers are down, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
That's why I keep hearing... People are like, it's fun right now, but when we're in... I mean, maybe it will work, but everyone is commenting on it that, like, it works now, but it's not going to...
Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, it either is or it isn't.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have it. I don't need to Zello anybody.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Ask E-Rock, how about throw a dog off a cliff to end the hurricane?
I do anything right now to end a hurricane.
You would throw a dog off a cliff? I don't believe you.
Yeah, so what? That means I don't have to go through a hurricane? I don't like not knowing things. I don't like not knowing, is Drew going to get sick and we're not going to be able to leave? Are we going to flood? Are we going to be out of school for more than a day? I mean, I don't like changing routine. I don't like unstructured things. I don't like having an answer to Drew. He's already telling me he's going to school on Monday to see Miss April. I mean, it's very hard for him to understand change like that.
So you'd throw a dog off a cliff?
Yes.
That's surprising. Ask E-Rock, why hasn't Matt hustled for that Generac sponsorship?
Oh, no. Every time there's a storm, we ask ourselves this, and then we let it go away. I'm not letting it go away this time.
Okay. Trivia Carter, ask E-Rock, would you eat bacon from a teacup pig
What the hell?
for $100 million?
What is that?
Like, I guess one of those little, maybe like one of those little pigs that people have as pets. Would you slaughter the pig and eat that bacon for $100 million?
No, but if it into hurricane, I would.
I would.
I wouldn't do it for
Bacon's
money.
delicious. It's just bacon. What does it matter if it's from
Someone
a big...
kill somebody's pig?
What does it matter if it's like a big pig or a little pig? It's bacon. Get rid of the landline. Get a generator. I'll make that deal. If we get rid of the landline,
It's the stupidest thing I've ever
I'll
heard.
buy a generator.
Hey, baby. Hi.
Hi, Drew. Oh,
Hi,
Lord, we got a
buddy.
droopy diaper.
Hey. What? Manamana. Go get mommy's phone.
Hey, come see. Everybody wants to say hi to you.
Okay, go bring mommy's phone. Come on, go get it and bring it to mommy.
His diaper's falling off. Asky Rock, would you rather a earthquake, ice storm, sandstorm, or hurricane?
What does a sandstorm consist of? Do we lose electricity?
Well, like, I guess like if you're out in the desert and the sand's like
But does
blowing
that lose
loose.
power? I'll take sand. What's sand gonna do to you?
I don't know.
Get dirty? Yay! Good job!
Good job! Hey, Drew, you want to come say hi to Dad's show?
Here. Yeah, go see Manamana with Daddy. Here, go over there. Go see Daddy. Go over there. Here, look. Daddy's got Manamana.
Come see
Go
Manamana.
see Daddy over there. Go get Manamana from Daddy. Go see.
I want banana right now.
Oh, Manamana
I
right
want
now.
Manamana right now.
Well, very good.
I don't want banana right now.
Good job.
What is her saying right now? Can you say hi?
Say hi to Dad's show.
Hi guys.
Okay. And now
How do you
he's gone.
start saying the word right now?
I don't know. But he gone. I want Manamana right now.
But he says it nicely.
I want Manamana right now.
Why not?
Right now. Okay. You can have whatever you want. Ooh, what about? I think there's a big flashlight that's still outside that I'd given Julio when he was up on the roof. I think it's outside. I need to get it.
Oh, don't jump right there, too.
If you get rid of the landline, how will E-Rock talk to her sister?
True.
Aha!
What?
Aha! Then you can't talk to your mom and your sister all the time.
Why does it bother you that I'm close with my...
It doesn't bother me that you're close. It's just weird that y'all talk 1,000 times a day. The phone rings all the time. It is weird. I don't think anybody talks that much.
You're so weird because we love each other.
I didn't say you're weird because you love each other. You just talk a lot. That's all.
And that's has nothing to do with you. Nobody. It doesn't inconvenience you. It doesn't. Don't worry about you. Don't worry about how much I talk to my family. Like that has no impact on you at all. You've never needed me, and I couldn't do something for you because I was talking to my family. Like that, I could see if it was like interfering with things. It doesn't interfere with anything. Like, that's why I don't understand why it bothers you so much. Like, why you let that bother you?
We had a rule in our house that the phone could not ring after 9 o'clock.
Okay.
I just think it's rude to call people late. That's why I don't like calling people after 9 o'clock. You can lose power during a sandstorm, and sand gets everywhere. Ask E-Rock, would you eat chocolate-covered crickets to end the storm?
Yes.
Or regular crickets? Would you eat a regular cricket to end the storm?
Right now, yes.
Oh, I know the one. I got it. Would you hold a gecko to end the hurricane
How long do I have to hold it?
all day?
No. I can't do it.
Erica would not hold a gecko to end the hurricane. She would throw a dog off a cliff. She would eat crickets, but she would not
I
hold
can't do
a
it.
cow.
Do you understand the fear and
Yes,
the
that's why I asked the
panic
question.
I have about those things?
That's why I asked the question. Ooh, the landline conversations interfere with companion shows. That's
No,
right.
it's not.
Erica, stop being so defensive. We're just messing with you,
Okay.
Erica. Come on, Erica. Ask E-Rock, would you eat moist
Ugh.
horseradish
Yes.
to end the storm?
Yes, right now I would do that. Yes, I would eat anything right now.
Trivia Carter, ask E-Rock, any battles lately?
No, I don't think so.
Well, yesterday I'm sitting
Oh,
in the
yeah.
kitchen and I look over and Erica's got blood streaming down her leg. I was like,
Yeah.
what'd you do to your leg?
Realize.
Was that from shaving, you said?
Guess so. I don't know. Yep.
Like 2 lines of blood streaming down her leg.
Yep.
All right.
You know, some of my vision, like I run into things a lot, so I think there's like a depth perception issue with my vision, maybe.
Probably.
So, but it's okay. That taught me.
All right. I think we're done. Okay. Everybody, have a great day. I think anything that has a definite endpoint she would do if it's ongoing, though.
Yeah. Who's that? That's a good point. I like
Charlie
to know-
Griswold.
Yeah, I like to know. Look at him. He knows me. He gets me. Who's this Charlie? He gets me now. Yeah, it would, because much like Drew, I want to know when it's going to be over. Like, if I want to know when this hurricane is going to be done. I don't care when it starts.
Monday morning.
What?
Monday morning.
Tomorrow morning it'll be done?
Yeah.
Like, so within 24 hours from now, I'm going to know how bad things are.
Yes.
But then I want to know when we're going to have power back. I want to know when I'm going back to school.
Ask you something about Mary or
Yes.
dodgeball?
I didn't like dodgeball.
Oh, really?
I love something about Mary. That's funny.
Did you really?
I love that, yeah.
Oh, okay, we
Kinda
can watch
gross.
that. It's been a long time since I've seen it. We can watch that.
I love something about Mary.
Okay. All right. My back hurts. I need to get up and move. Lenny Moss asks E-Rock, are you calling me the Chad Hayward of the hood?
I am, Lenny. That's a great compliment. So you can't ever leave the hood, Lenny. Don't put that house up for sale again.
Look at that asshole. Excuse me. Look at that butthole speeding down the neighborhood. I don't like people that speed through the neighborhood.
I bet Lenny follows Chad Hayward, huh? He knew exactly what I was talking about.
No. No.
Lenny, are y'all moving a car up front?
We gotta check on my car, make sure somebody didn't steal it.
Yeah.
I already did that. Moved my car yesterday. All right. Cliff's leaving.
Where's he going?
I don't know. He just said like peace
Oh,
out.
I thought he was like leaving town.
All right, y'all. All right, we're done. Y'all have an awesome day. Please be safe, everyone. Just stay inside. Don't be the people that drive around during the storm. Like, I don't understand why people do that. Like, they try to drive around and go see the damage and stuff. Don't do that. Don't go driving into floodwaters or where there could be down power lines. Just be safe and stuff. By the way, still 50 watching, 63. If you've not yet done so, smash the like button. Smash it. Smash the like button, YouTube. Facebook. Like the page, share the post, like the page, share the post, like the page, share the post. A few more reminders. Talk 1073 has ongoing storm coverage. So tune in to Talk 1073 FM or on their Facebook page for live streaming. And of course, Hudco Roofing. The Hudco link is pinned on both chats. You can, as I mentioned, I'll keep mentioning this to our folks, if you want to get on our list, you can do so now. So it's just a priority based on order of receipt. And when the storm passes, we'll go just down the list. Do you still need an inspection? If the answer is yes, great, we'll come out. If not, we'll just scratch you off, no biggie. So feel free to get to the website and if you want. And if not, no biggie. And I get it. We'll have plenty to do. Okay, y'all be safe. I don't know, maybe we'll fire up a Facebook Live later again, or a live stream just because. Like an Ida watch party or something. Maybe we'll do like a nightcap with Ida. Pour a little nightcap or something like that.
Well, I'm not going to be here.
Well, maybe I can do that to pass the time until we lose power. Okay, y'all be good. We'll see you.